Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Friday edition of the Computer America Show, our little pre-show video here at our Google Hangouts live video stream. Got a great show for you planned. In the second hour, we're going to have computer and technology news brought to you by SlimWare Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And in the first hour, we're going to have GAEMS here on the show.
1 minute until showtime.
Gaming and Entertainment Mobile Systems, better known as GAEMS, G-A-E-M-S. We're going to have John Smith, who was the managing director for GAEMS, going to be talking about their brand new monitor, their M240, and their other line of gaming, professional gaming equipment. It's going to be a fun show. So, because hey, it's Friday, sit back, relax, enjoy the program as we begin 2 hours of Computer America.
You didn't mention hour 2 computer and technology news, right?
Yes, I did. I
All
did.
right.
Yes, I did.
Just want to make that crystal clear because there's a lot going on today.
Yes, there is. 30 seconds.
Until?
The beginning of the show.
Oh. Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Time flies when you're having fun. Exactly. 15 seconds.
Until?
The beginning of the show.
New meds. They're working.
Yeah, they are.
Your
Right.
show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
The Computer America Show is brought to you by Bell Ringers. It's newer than news when you're right there as it first debuts. Visit our sponsor's website at bellringersmedia.com. Hello and welcome into another edition of the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And it's Friday! Yes, another week of broadcasting excellence in the file cabinet.
Yeah, it's crazy. It seems like every 7 days.
Yeah, it's amazing. It just keeps happening. It's like the linear progression of time. We just can't get a handle on it. But yes, another week of Computer America filed away in cold mountain under the ground, miles beneath the surface of the earth.
Where it belongs.
Yeah, well protected.
Maybe one day rises from the grave and, you know, hurt someone. But for now, you know, we'll keep it under lock and key.
In case of Judgment Day, you know, and then they want to find out what life was about. And they need, let's get Computer America, those archives that we have. They'll know where to find them.
Just to give people an idea, we have the door barred with the Ark of the Covenant just to make sure, you know, no one gets in. So it's
Yes, it works. Yes, it works. By the way, also, since it is Friday, that means we have our social media winner of the week. Yeah, somebody's going to win that really nice brand new prize from Logitech.
the MX Anywhere 2 mouse.
No, I was going to say, is it Logi now, or is it still Logitech?
Logi. They're it's a little dicey, but they're going through a huge refacing, resurfacing, whatever you want, restructuring. Yeah. And let's call them Logi from now on.
Logitech. Okay, you call them Logi, I'll call them Logitech.
Okay. I'll call them Logi.
Okay, well, right, there you go. So, and again, yes, it is the MX. It is the MX2 Anywhere MX2 wireless mouse. It's valued at $80. Some lucky person is going to get that. And if you haven't been entering into our social media contest, you need to do it. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the second hour. In the meantime, if you have a comment or question for our guest, let me give you the numbers to call. It's 347-884-8881. 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. We also have our live interactive chat room from our homepage at computeramerica.com. Just select the show lounge /chat. Okay, if you hover over it, you have the option of going for a full screen chat. But if you just click on it, you'll get another page. Two things will happen. First of all, on the left-hand side, you'll see the little smaller version of our chat room. It'll say "Wanna chat?" and just type in a username. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there, and join all of the fun and frolic that is the Computer America chat room. A lot of people in there, love to talk to you, love to see you in there. The other thing that will happen is that our live video stream will begin to happen, will activate. That's right. Even though we are a radio talk show, we also have live video streaming. You can certainly see me. You can see Ben. Sometimes you can see our guests. And also Ben has the amazing, super cool technology to display websites, videos, everything that we're talking about. You can actually see it when you're watching the live video stream. And that's all available, again, at computeramerica.com in the show lounge. So we love to see you in there. And I think that's everything. I mentioned the contests and all the prize and everything. I think that's everything now. So if anything else you want to mention, Ben, before we get started?
Maybe a nice little piece of trivia. When you go to logi.com, logi.com,
yes,
redirects you to Logitech.
There we go. Okay, so I still don't think they're technically Logi. I still think they're Logitech. I need to talk to them and find out how they want to be introduced. So
yeah, no, they're going through a big rebranding kind of deal. So but that does not affect our prize for tonight's contest, nor does that affect our current guest that is waiting in the wings so very patiently.
Yes, and by the way, we had our Gamer Tuesday with Josh Boykin, which was a lot of fun. But it's all about computer games again in this first hour. Matter of fact, the first guest is from a company called Gaming and Entertainment Mobile Systems, and better known as GAEMS, G-A-E-M-S. It's pronounced games, even though they reversed the. You're not dyslexic. The A and the E are backwards, but no, it's the M and the E are actually backwards, but it's still games, and they are changing the way gamers around the world stay connected to their favorite console, friends, and games. By creating an entirely new category in consumer electronics. GAEMS has taken everything that's needed for an ultimate gaming experience and made it portable. GAEMS was created by hardcore gamers for hardcore gamers. That's nice. They have hardcore gamers, you see that? And they're doing it for hardcore gamers. Now, by assembling a team of industry professionals with a passion for gaming, GAEMS will also always design and manufacture products with gamers in mind. GAEMS' mission is to provide the highest quality portable gaming and entertainment experience to console gamers around the world. That's a very cool mission to have. Now, joining us tonight from GAEMS is John Smith. John is the managing director for GAEMS. John, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
I'm doing well, Craig. Thank you for having me on the show.
Our pleasure. And I don't know if you know this, but Ben is our consummate gamer here on the Computer America staff. Loves playing games, and so I'm sure he's going to be very, very interested in what it is that you have to say and what you're going to tell our listeners. So you heard me introduce GAEMS, but why don't you tell us in your own words exactly what is GAEMS?
Well, that actually pretty much described how games began, but funny that we're on this show to kind of announce how things will be changing. We are actually putting some focus not just on console, but because we are truly core gamers, we're actually building products for the PC gaming world as well. We've started with one product, we're moving forward, but we are truly a company filled with gamers whose passion is gaming, PC, technology, console, everything like that, and we want to give people the best experiences possible for the most affordable pricing possible. We kind of would rather build a Bugatti level product and sell it at a Corvette price than to sell you a Corvette priced lower level car and try to tell you it's high performance.
Okay. It's interesting how so many of the analogies in the gaming industry always fall back onto cars. It just seems to happen that way. But I certainly get what you're saying.
And I guess the gaming market especially is very much full of fly by night companies. They're full of companies trying to sell you products that are really aren't that high quality, but then either they'll put a nice shiny label on it or a catchy name, and they'll push it out just kind of assuming that gamers are the product of people who sit on couches and sit in basements and they ask their parents for money or something like that. But that's that's not doing what a gamer is justice.
Evidently not.
That is correct. That is correct. That misses the demographic by such a long shot that people need to actually be educated on what the gaming demographic is, and maybe then they would understand why companies like ours have built a reputation on quality and not at a price point that most people would expect. So, you know, you are correct on that, Ben.
Now, John, you're managing director for the company. Did you were you involved in the starting the company? I mean, how did you get the idea to start this company?
Well, actually, that's a pretty fun story. Maybe I can take just a quick little bit
Sure.
of time here and cover that.
Mhm.
Dean Mercier is actually the original idea behind this. Dean Mercier came to me while I was working at a major console manufacturing company in Redmond, Washington. And what he did is he said, my problem is I want to be able to game while I'm on the road. He was a professional. He did software implementation in the HR and time management software area. So he was on the road about 80% of the time. So we played video games together at night and stayed close as friends by gaming. So we'd spend a couple hours every evening, and when he was on the road, we'd spend more than a couple of hours gaming and talking. And one day he was offline for about 2.5 weeks. Couldn't get a hold of him at all.
Ah.
So the rest of us who were gaming together in our, they call them clans, gaming in our clan, just kept getting better, 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 and better. And by the time he showed up one night online, he was the worst player in the bunch. And we were kind of upset he was even with us because he was dragging us down. So he came over to my house about a week later and he said, you know what happened? And I said, I have no clue. He says, I was stuck in a town in North Dakota at a place called the America Inn, and he'd been snowed in. There was no way to plug in a console, no way to do anything gaming whatsoever. It was a miserable experience. He said, I have to be able to get my Xbox or my PlayStation on the road with me. So he called me over to his place. We went to a Starbucks, actually, and this is one of those stories that is true. We drafted the first product on a Starbucks napkin. We brought the idea back to the house, and we ended up doing a PowerPoint presentation that was proposed to a major company and simply said, we would like for you to build this because we would buy it. And they said, what a brilliant idea, but there's probably not 5,000 people in the world that would buy that. So we both scratched our heads, realizing that we both ourselves would have used it. So we built a company around it, and we launched to more than the 5,000 units in pre-order sales, and the rest is history. So GAEMS was born in reality in a hotel room in North Dakota from a core gamer who couldn't game with his friends. That was it. He found a need.
On a cocktail napkin. On a cocktail napkin. On a cocktail napkin. You know that
that's right.
That story also applied a compact computer in its day. That company, if you remember, started with a cocktail napkin too. A lot of
that is correct.
Yeah, there's a lot of us. I think there are a lot of stories out there that are similar. So obviously you were.
And of course this is going to be a side. You know, this has no relevance to the starting of the company. But what game was it that he was missing out on?
Actually, it was Call of Duty. So we can lay claim to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
All right.
Reason this game or this company exists. So we could not stand not playing together consistently to stay good at the game.
Yeah,
that was actually the game we were playing. Dean himself was originally a SOCOM player, so that was what he did. And before that, we were both PC gamers for the longest time. So we started in PC gaming, moved to console for a while for the ease and ability to have it in the middle of the living room where we could relax on our couches. The PC became, one of those very expensive toys that as we started working, we were both in professional careers. We just didn't have time to follow up in that PC gaming world like we wanted to. The console was easy and it was inexpensive and had a lot of other uses for us in the living room. So they became natural purchases for us. But yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. The monitor, we're going to be talking about one of your flagship products, the M240. This is labeled as a professional gaming monitor. What makes a monitor a quote-unquote professional monitor as opposed to a non-professional monitor? And I really asked that in an innocent way. I'm not, no sarcasm, really. What makes this? Why is this called a professional monitor?
Actually, none taken on that. It is confusing to a lot of people, except for the professional gamers in the world. As you're aware, there are many professional gamers that make more than $1 million a year now between streaming, playing their games. I heard a whistle back there. Did that surprise someone?
Yeah.
And I think it's like.
Go ahead.
It just seems like in America that is still out of the question. Like there are other, South Korea and places like that, and Taiwan and China. Like kids can actually drop out of school at 16 and 17 and pursue a career as a professional gamer. Like they join a household. They choose a group of people and they train for 16 hours a day and they compete in competitions like that. That's a culture over there. But here in America, it's still a very new and emerging concept of, you play games professionally. Why, I don't think you can do that.
Well, not only can you play them professionally, and that's the reason I'll lead into why we're a professional gaming monitor. Not only can you do it professionally, you can gain scholarships going to places like Robert Morris University, four-year college, offering scholarships to professional gamers. And they're not pros yet, but think about them as aspiring pros. So Robert Morris University is offering scholarships every year for top gamers. So now, not only is it legitimate as a sport and understood by the U.S. government, who brought in Violet as the first professional athlete with a visa in esports, documented, it's legitimized by the government as a real sport. So the real sport, if you're in Call of Duty, there's only one league you can go to. That's Major League Gaming. A lot of people are unaware of Major League Gaming because it's mostly console focused, and the PC world tends to focus on PC facing events. But Major League Gaming can sell out events for Call of Duty in a matter of 10, 15 minutes.
Wow.
And these individuals have $1 million tournaments, multiple 50,000 and above tournaments. So the players can go out and actually earn a decent living by winning multiple tournaments every month, big tournaments, on a quarterly basis and annually. But more importantly, because console gaming is something that everyone can do without a major investment, streaming and YouTube videos, everything that goes on in the social media world, there's a huge push in America around console gaming, whether it is playing something as lower level as Minecraft, which is a fabulous game with followership that starts in the earliest of ages and goes all the way through adults, to Call of Duty, which tends to have a niche group of followers, as most people want to think, but at 26 million units sold, it's not as niche as you might think for console gaming. So now when you turn around and look at what MLG does, they run tournaments around the US and around the world now with a stadium being built in Asia for them. That's how popular it is getting. They have standards for monitors. They have shared those standards with us, and we built our product to MLG standards, plus some standards that we have that are a little bit above and beyond that. So we built our product to all of MLG standards, but we could not release until April of this year because it didn't meet our needs. So that's why they went with another professional gaming monitor for this year. It may not be the only reason, but that would be something you'd have to ask them. We couldn't release on the time frame they needed. So we love MLG. We love the products that they've been buying for their professional gamers and that they have their gamers using because they're high quality. We meet all those standards plus a few more. And the pro gamer does more, as I said, than just play a game for a living. They also stream. So our products are designed to the standards needed for them. Anybody doing game capture and streaming of their videos or doing post-editing on something, you want to have the most latency-free product you can have, including your video, not just your game. So we do an HDMI output on our monitor that allows you to do your game capture after you've actually played the game, so to speak. So instead of putting input between the video card and or the console and the monitor, or having it split off there at the signal, which is an HDCP issue for most people. And since we are lovers of the music industry and the gaming industry and the media industry whatsoever, we would never want to steal from the people making movies, music, etc. So we make sure that we run the HDCP licensing inside of our monitor, both inside and outside. So when you connect to our product, it has an HDCP license. When you stream outside of it versus using a splitter, we pay for a second license to make sure that the people get the royalties for what they have earned in their life. We don't want anyone stealing our IP, so why would we steal theirs? We do it the honorable way. So our professional gaming monitor is designed to give the best 60 hertz performance you can get, but it's also designed to meet the needs above and beyond just the gaming. It is truly a media product. That's why we put 4 speakers and subwoofer technology in it, because you may game with a pair of headphones on, but you probably want to watch that YouTube video, Netflix, or listen to your broadcast on the internet with a pair of speakers with your friends. So why don't we just go ahead and use that time to build a better product, because we weren't pleased with anything that was on the market for our own purchases. If we were, we would buy them. We wouldn't build them. The only reason we build them is not to compete with somebody else. It's because we found that there wasn't something that fit our needs. So the professional gaming market does have some good quality visuals, and we can meet or exceed all of those, but while we're at it, we couldn't leave well enough alone, so we put improved audio for the people that do want that. So we are a professional grade product, but it's also a little bit more.
Okay, well, thank you for explaining that, and I have a much better idea. So let's kind of focus in on the M240. Now, when I first look at this, I don't know whether this is a product, a screen for a desktop computer, or is this for somebody who's on traveling? Is it a mobile device? Is it a desktop device, or is it a combination of both? This M240.
It's a combination of both. So the M240 was designed with a kickstand in the back to hold the monitor, whether you're at home or anywhere else. That kickstand will actually fold up, rotate to the top, and lock in place. So it becomes a travel handle in case you want to take your M240 with you for gaming, or just have a better monitor from one room to another in the office, or for any other purpose. We also provide a cover for the glass, so you can put the cover on it and go ahead and take that with you without fear of cracking the glass, scratching the glass, etc.
Very nice.
It is both. So yeah, if you're in Europe and you want to go to DreamHack, why would you leave your best monitor at home and settle for something else? Take your monitor with you.
Sounds like a good plan. Okay.
Yeah, and also, what latency does the monitor have?
Well, that's one of those tricky questions, and I don't want to get too far into the tech specs with everybody, because overall latency is a number that nobody else wants to disclose. What they want to talk about is their latency on gray to gray. Since there's only 4 major manufacturers of glass in the world that people buy from, that number is kind of like saying, hey guys, I bought a new car. Guess what? It's got 4 tires on it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So when somebody says I've got 1 to 2 milliseconds gray to gray, things like that, the same holds true for almost all of the good monitors out there. We're in that category. So, you know, when somebody says we're 0 to 1, well, 0 doesn't exist. It'll never exist. Good luck getting that one pitched. But as far as the human eye can tell, that's really what you're looking for. The human eye can perceive latency at 7.5 milliseconds and above on average. Some people with a minor disorder might be able to spot it down to 5.5 or 6, but we can go into disorders later. And what we try to do is we aim for a maximum latency of overall latency, kind of what we call stick to eyeball, you know, from the movement to the eyeball, of 5.5 or less. That's what we always aim for. That is our goal, so that the human eye will never, ever, ever spot latency.
Yeah, that's whenever me and my friends play Halo. One of them was even an MLG player back in the day, and you know, whenever we're looking at a monitor, we kind of you know, discount anything that is over 5 milliseconds. Like you know, it does make a difference, you know, when you get higher up. But anything over 5, because yes, there's only a couple people that make the monitors, but there are still people out there that are willing to sell you, you know, 10 millisecond, 15, you know, 12 millisecond, and like those monitors, they're a heck of a lot cheaper, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but you're gonna notice a difference. You really are. And
actually, Ben, you're obviously a knowledgeable buyer, but I do want to point out something. Just so that you're aware, when somebody is talking about their screen having 5.5, they're ignoring all of the other math, everything else that's going through the processing. So that is where, when you buy something that may be a 1 or 2 millisecond response rate.
Mhm.
It may actually be a 9 to 12 millisecond response total latency.
Yeah.
Share all the data, and until the world wants to share all the data, we won't print every one of our specs, because that's just one of those things that, you know, we know where we're at, and I can take anybody out there, including their other pro gaming monitors, and I can show you where the human eye will spot latency, and I will do that challenge next to my monitor any day of the week. As a matter of fact, we were going to do that at a trade show last year. We chose not to because of one other thing that I find very important in this industry. We should all be supportive of each other. So if I make the other ones look really bad, it doesn't make me look better. It's actually a negative way of doing it. So what I tell people is plain and simple. Buy our product at Amazon, buy it anywhere you want, because you know what? You get a money back guarantee. They'll go ahead and take it back, even if you just said, put it next to, name your monitor, and I don't believe it's better. Great. Perception's reality. I can show the numbers all day long. I can show where we beat them, but what we've found is most valuable. We have the lowest return rate of monitors on Amazon. We have the lowest rate of gaming products returned, because customers try our products, they like our products, they keep our products, because we don't want to lie to the customer. Sometimes we have to play a little bit of a marketing game, but we won't lie with it, where we don't want to disclose all of the secret sauce until the other people do. I gave you a little piece of it that simply says, try it. I can promise you you'll like it, because if you don't, send it back. And you know who eats that cost? Me. All of those costs get eaten by me, and that's how confident I am in my products.
John?
So I would love to tell you that. Yeah.
John, now,
Yeah.
you probably remember this when computer monitors came out, and there was the debacle when they said, oh, it's a 17-inch screen diagonal, and it really wasn't. They weren't measuring the screen. They were measuring the frame, the bezel around it. And so basically, I think the government stepped in and said, no, you have to declare the actual, you know, size of the screens. And so everybody finally conformed to that. So when you get yourself a 17-inch or 21-inch monitor, whatever it may be, you know that's the size of the screen. It's government regulated, I believe. Maybe not, but you don't hear about that anymore because everybody complies to it. Do you think that that's going to happen with the rest of the specs, the latency, the things that you're talking about here, or is that always going to be something that will be determined?
Open to debate.
Open to debate.
So I hate to say this, because I would love for full disclosure, but I don't think it'll happen for a couple of reasons. That is actually one of the best questions I've heard in years. I love that question.
Thank you.
The reason I feel that it won't happen is because there's a lot of issues that could go in the middle with other people's hardware for testing. So it depends on the game you're playing or the actions you're doing, whether it's truly black and white, or if you're talking about shades of gray, artifacting, other things that can come into play with how your latency is perceived versus actuality. So there's so many different variables that can impact your visual experience that I don't believe that they're going to standardize it. So even using what you said about the television and the monitor sizes, you'll notice that people are now using the word class. We use that word as well, because when buying glass, maybe one day it's 23.5 inches for the perfect size glass, and the next day it's 24.5. So you call it a 24-inch class monitor. And that's one of those things. So when you talk about performance, I believe that there's going to be performance grades that would be what we would call lag-free. So BenQ has already thrown the gauntlet down by calling their monitor lag-free, right?
Yep.
If you look at their advertising and their marketing, we're lag-free. Well, to me, lag-free is 0. I don't know about you guys, but it's 0.
Yep.
That means that it's not real. That means they're either lying or they're going with another level of discussion. If the human eye and the brain cannot perceive it, is it real or not? If the human eye or brain can't perceive it, I would probably say that's virtually lag-free, which is a term we've used for years. Since the gauntlet has been dropped on a monitor that we consider very good, we consider ours better, we are going to have to adopt their terminology, or people will think that we're slower. We're virtually lag-free. I prefer that term because I think it's honest. I believe as the world starts talking about what that number means, that's all they're going to do is they're going to say 0 to 5.5 milliseconds, maybe 0 to 6.5 or 7 would be considered lag free. And then afterwards, and that would be total latency. And I would be comfortable with that statistic. I would be comfortable with that category because the cost of getting 1 to 2 true milliseconds of latency, since it'll never be perceived and it can't change the way you're looking at it, if that monitor cost you $5,000 and one that you still couldn't perceive cost you $4,000, I'm buying the $400 one because it doesn't do me any good to buy the other one because I'm not going to see the difference.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I'm not a Bugatti owner because I know 55 miles an hour, my Ford F-150 will get there and I'm still at 55.
That's it. Yeah.
No reason to spend $3 million on a car.
I don't know. I can't drive 55, but anyway, when we come back, I want to talk a little more about the details of the M240 professional gaming monitor. Tell us about that when we come back. Okay. And also, can the M240 also be used for more than just gaming? And let's talk about some of the other products that you make as well. Okay, so we're going to come back.
Okay.
John, stand with us. You're listening to the Computer America Show. It's Friday. Ben and I are talking to John Smith, the managing director for GAEMS. We're talking about the M240 monitor, and we'll be talking about some of the other products too. It's Friday. That means we're going to have our social media winner of the week for that Logitech MX2 Anywhere wireless mouse. It's all coming up. A news test bulletin review from Marty Winston as well. Don't go anywhere.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
This is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. I want to tell you something about VTech. They always have the coolest telephone systems around. VTech's new 4-line small business phone system, the perfect solution for small business owners that need to install a phone system that has qualities and features that have previously only been available for companies with bigger budgets. First of all, this new system is the most affordable and easy to install 4-line phone system on the market. Its components allow the system to grow alongside a business up to 10 extensions that can be located anywhere. The 4-line small business phone system also comes equipped with a number of advanced features such as auto attendant for each line, a digital answering machine with mailboxes for every extension, full duplex speakerphones, music on hold, power failure operation, 6-way conferencing, and much, much more. The VTech 4-line small business phone system is available in stores and online at Office Depot, Office Max, and Staples, as well as online at www.vtechphones.com. Tell them I sent you.
Yeah, I'd settle for a solar-powered lawn. Hey, it's Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the new Wisdom 3-coil wireless charging stand. We've seen lots of little handset easel stands that are nothing but holders, and several with micro USB base plugs to charge phones while holding them. But the new Wisdom 3-coil wireless charging stand is the first we've seen that can keep our Galaxy S6 charged with no wear and tear on its plug. How much do you like the idea of not needing two hands just to get your phone to charge? You power the stand through a micro USB socket on the back of its base with max 1.5 amps. The handset rests on a long bump out near the bottom of the easel back, where there's also a built-in charge status light. That easel back has 3 coils built in, so the exact positioning of a handset, or the inductive charging coil within a handset, is less critical and more forgiving. The unit specs suggest a handset charging inductive speed of just over 1 amp. We have no way to test for that, but that's a good nominal rate when you're not in a hurry. Bottom line, when you have a handset that can handle inductive charging, the new Wisdom 3-coil wireless charging stand gives you a way to both rest and recharge your phone with just one hand. Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Here at just after the bottom of the hour, 33 minutes past the hour, we are talking to Mr. John Smith. He is the managing director over at GAEMS. And, right now we're talking about the M240 professional gaming monitor, emphasis on professional. And, we were just talking about the specs and really, kind of got a little bit sidetracked with a good question from Craig. But, we're going to get back to the specs of this thing. And I've seen a lot of professional monitors before. This one, definitely looks a lot better. It doesn't try to pretend to be something else. It doesn't try to pretend to be, tiny. It doesn't try to pretend to be very, very slim. It just, it looks like the monster that it probably is. And that's a good thing. But it does boast something that I've never seen on and I'm not saying that this is the first one out there. There probably are others, but this is the first one I've seen with some kind of sound system, and from what it sounds like, a good sound system actually built into the monitor for that exact reason, probably for the exact reason you guys were talking about earlier, where you wanted to take something that was portable on the road and take it with you. So tell us a little bit about the sound system built into the M240.
Well, Ben, one of the things that's important about GAEMS is when I mentioned earlier about the founders. So I'm one of the founders with Dean Mercier. Dean Mercier used to be with a well-known band. He was the sound person for them, as a matter of fact. So he is a huge audiophile. So whether you're using one of our, as we like to call them, monitors in a box, you'll find that the sound quality is better than average, and in some people's eyes, exceptional. So when we built the M240, we'd already had phenomenal reviews on Amazon for the G190, the 19-inch class monitor. Probably the first 30 reviews, people were like, oh my gosh, this sound is amazing. So we said we couldn't build a 24-inch monitor that was just amazing. We had to go for better. So we built quad speakers into this, subwoofer, passive subwoofer technology with a subwoofer output port. You really don't need to plug in your speakers to this device because the 4 speakers should be exceptional. Once you plug in a subwoofer, we've had people come into our offices where we're playing it and they say, hey, can you turn your sound system down? And when we reach up and touch the monitor, the jaws hit the floor. So we kind of wanted it to be nice sounding because we understand that today's generation of viewers that are gamers or even industry professionals that use a monitor every day with their PCs, they tend to listen to one of the various music channels that are out there on the internet, and they want to have high quality sound. But rather than clutter your desk with multiple speakers, why not just give them the speakers built in? So we went ahead and did that. As long as you're paying for a professional grade product, why not get real high quality sound at no extra charge? And that's kind of what we did.
And just as a personal preference, especially when I'm playing console games, how hard is it to use, let's say, a gaming headset? If I have to have a mic and a headset plugged in, do you plug that in directly to the monitor, or this may be for PC gamers, but are there audio jacks attached to the monitor?
We do put an audio jack attached to it. All of our products, except for this one, came with twin audio output jacks, so you could put 2 pair of headphones. This one we built in with a single headphone jack because we do know that that's more for the PC or music lover. The console gamer will likely be using the optical output port to get true Dolby and everything else. So they're probably going to want to plug it into the console. People that are just listening to basic stereo gaming headphones, definitely plug it into our monitor if you like, plug it into your console if you're like. You have 2 places and they give you both equal sound.
And John, I have to ask you, obviously we're focusing on gaming, but can the M240 be used for more than just gaming?
Oh yes, this, the way we look at it, since you guys are definitely in the computer world, if you have a $14,000 and I'm going to name a name because I actually like this, one of these computers, $14,000 Origin PC. It'll do all of your gaming needs, but the day you're doing a spreadsheet, checking email, cruising the web, it'll do it just fine. You build to a higher standard and everything else basically comes free. It's whether you want to spend the money for the higher standard. So for the monitor, you can buy a $100, $200 monitor, and it's not going to be professional grade, but if you have a professional grade monitor, you certainly have one that will perform everything else you want. So we have a PC and a console mode built onto the monitor. So for a single adjustment, it will be tuned for console gaming. The other one will make it perform better for basic PC functionality. So it's really a mode change, and we made it easy, basically one button for the customer. You know, they hit the setting and just adjust it. So it will work for both, and ours will do something that most others won't, and that's what we were talking about before the commercial break. It will do great work for those that make their living or want to aspire to make a living doing streaming or other things with the HDMI output. That makes us quite different than the majority of the monitors out there today. So you can use it for video editing, audio, multiple things.
All right. Now, for people who are listening to the show and their parents, or they might be looking to buy a gaming monitor as a gift.
Greg, you did it. You said parents. Oh, how dare you?
Apparently.
I buy my own gaming junk food.
Yeah, but you see, what should people consider before making a purchase of a monitor? Do they need to know all these specs and what they mean? I mean, because it can be so dazzling and confusing, John. You have advice for them?
I do have some advice, and the advice is going to be based on a couple of needs. So I was recently at San Diego Comic-Con not selling my product to a lot of PC gamers. And when I would tell them not to buy it, their jaws kind of opened a little because they're like, what kind of sales guy is this guy? And I said, I want everyone to be satisfied with their experience. So first thing they should say is, what type of games or what do they expect to do with this monitor? If they're a 100 frame per second CSGO player, don't buy my product. You'll want to buy a 120, 144 hertz product. I'm building a 60 hertz product at the moment. The 60 hertz product handles the 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second that other people do exceptionally well. So what I would do is first of all say, do you play any 100 frame per second games? And if you do, and you want to play them competitively, buy somebody else's at the moment if you're in the market for a monitor, or wait a short time because you never know what will drop on the market. If you're a standard PC or console gamer, the majority of those games are running at 60 frames per second. And by the majority, we're talking about 90, 95%. So with that, when you buy 120, 144 hertz for your gaming needs, you're actually buying something that's overkill, or you're buying something that could actually make it a lesser experience. Buy the product best suited for it. So whether that's our 60 hertz or somebody else's 60 hertz, focus on the hertz. Then when you're talking about the gray to gray, throw that away. I'll make it super simple. If a monitor's under $200, it's probably hiding something in its specs that you're going to find out later because it's not going to be announced. If it's 200 and above, it's really up to what you wish to buy. So our product tends to sell around $400. I've had some video editors come in and use our product and compare it to the next best thing, sitting in at $1,200 to $1,600. They ask us why we're selling it so inexpensively, and I said, because we don't spend our money on marketing, advertising, and we don't build phones or anything else, so why would I go ahead and need to raise my price to the consumer just because I can? So when I'm looking for specs myself, and that's why we built what we did, I look for a few things. Is it true color? Am I going to be getting the color spectrum I want? I would read reviews on it and find out what people that may be super techy are finding on the artifacting, because if you're watching a lot of movies or if you're playing some brilliant color games, League of Legends, Diablo 3, something like that, where colors are very brilliant and pop, artifacting is actually more important to some of those than say the response rate, because they're all responding at about the same rate. It's just, is there anything left on the screen that stops it from switching from one color to the other? So all of those are things that you may or may not be able to find on the box, but they're almost always visible in a price point. When somebody buys the right glass, it's going to cost a bit of money because of you know, wanting to get all of that important color-rich features to be able to show it to them. The other piece is when I look at monitors, I go out there and I think to myself, what am I going to use it for other than just gaming? Because if you only do gaming and you want to have a triple monitor setup because you're not really competitive, but you want that experience, you might want to look at a monitor for whether it's like ours, big speakers. They're probably not relevant. You probably want bezel free. So that takes you out of the tech specs and really goes into the aesthetics. We're not for everybody. We know we're not for everybody. We're for the gamer who wants to be competitive or enjoy a competitive experience. And that means you are playing on one monitor or you're having two monitors stacked on top of each other, not side by side. So that's kind of what I would look for. I know that kind of sounds a little odd, but it's really the color and the price point. And now you'll find a lot in the price point. Go ahead.
Now we're getting close to the end of the hour, so I want to try to get in a few more things, John. You mentioned the M240 is the top of the line monitor you make now. You implied that there was going to be something coming up. Can you talk about it?
Well, we're a company that is built on listening to gamers. Just because we're gamers doesn't mean we think we know it all. Mm-hmm. We become deep experts in areas that our consumers tell us they want. When we built our first product, the G155, the Century, and the Vanguards, they were console-focused products, were designed for specifications to give the highest response rate possible for consoles, provide video the way a console is wanting you to see it in the game. So we became experts in building monitors. One of the things that we do differently, and this is going to lead into the final part of the question, is we're not like most of our competitors. And when I say most, I'm not going to name any names because we all know them by name. They buy their product from a third party that builds the product for them. If you were to take a screwdriver and tear apart the monitor, you'll notice the boards are probably all made by the same people. Mm-hmm. The glass is all purchased by the same people. And really, they're an assembly facility that they may not even assemble it, but they put their name on it. We buy our chips from a particular chip maker. We build our boards ourselves, so our PCB boards are built by us. We do our coding ourselves. We design our sound systems ourselves, chamber them, everything, tune them ourselves. And we test the living daylights out of them until we're so satisfied that we would buy it ourselves. If it doesn't fit our needs, we're not going to put our name on it. We certainly won't put our name on somebody else's product. That's not what we do. So it took us 2 years to get the M240 to market. Happy. Now,
yeah, that whole
that people wanted us to monitor that would do 120, 144, and so we have listened, and we are in the process of addressing that need for the PC gamers that want 100 frames per second and wish to use our technology, which is different than others, to have latency, virtually lag-free an experience they could have at that 100 frames per second. So yes, we are looking at building that. So for those gamers that need that, the CSGO gamers, I hope they hold their pennies and wait until maybe early 2016. And as we promised to the world and exposed to them, we're listening to the console world. We dropped a bomb with the 24-inch M240. We announced it last year, and rejoice, gamers ever waiting for it. Now, for the PC gamers in Europe and in the US that need that 100 frames per second, I hope that they will rejoice in 2016 because we would love to give them that product so that they could enjoy the same games technology that has made console fans around the world. And we hope we can have PC fans around the world.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the other products the GAEMS has?
You bet. Most relevant probably to your customer base, from what I understand about your broadcast, we have a 15.6 inch. So when we're talking exact size, we call it 15.5. We have a 15.6 monitor that is one of the fastest performing 15.6 monitors out there, USB powered. Plug it into your laptop, plug it into your console, plug it into your cell phone. It's USB powered, and it has a full-size HDMI so that you don't have to run around looking for weird adapters, so that you can have a second screen when you're, traveling, or if you just want a better screen to game on. I personally have an Alienware. I prefer the gaming experience on our M155. That's the monitor I'm talking about. It weighs 1.2 pounds. You won't even notice it in your backpack. And when I travel, I use that monitor. I have 2 monitors at that point for doing my work when I'm on the road. So I'm working with a twin monitor set up in a hotel room. But when I go to play a video game, I move the screen to play on the M155 because the performance is better than the screen that's built onto my Alienware M14. Now, I love Dell. No offense, their monitors are good, but I think mine's just a little better. Otherwise, I wouldn't use it. Now, we also have the monitors in the box, as we call them. Those are our 15.6 monitor plus a great pair of speakers in a Century product that allows you to put your Xbox, your PlayStation console of choice, whether it's the last generation or this generation. You can attach it and take it with you. Fits carry-on luggage. I actually carried 2 of them on my trip to New York and Philadelphia the last couple of days. I fit both of them in the overhead above me, and I was able to enjoy gaming with a friend while we were in our hotel room. So 2 products have been on the market. The Vanguard is in a 19-inch class. It's actually an 18.5 monitor, but it's a 19-inch class monitor, and it has exceptional speakers, metal coned and beautiful sound chambered design, so that if you don't want to plug your headphones in, if you want to watch a movie with a girlfriend, a boyfriend, your kid's sister, whoever, you can go ahead and enjoy that. Or you can plug in a pair of headphones if you want to have privacy and game in a library. So, those are our other products, and we are going to be announcing a couple of other new products, hopefully one of them launching this holiday season for the people that travel with maybe a Surface tablet or something along that lines. We hope that they enjoy it. And products that also work along the M155 line for photographers and others. Now, going with our GAEMS name, every one of those products will be great gaming products that will have a secondary value to a different field. We are never going to forget our core. We're gamers for gamers, but we also know gamers are photographers. Gamers are industry professionals that do software, and gamers are mothers. So we want products that fit their lifestyles. So if you were to talk about what our company is, and if we change some of it, we're a lifestyle company that tries to fit your lifestyle with products that other people are ignoring. That M155 1.2 pound monitor, we have PC users, we have families, we have drone flyers that are buying them and attaching them because their iPhones are too small, so they want a big screen. They pipe their iPhone screen onto our monitor. It's just a simple cord. And since it's USB powered, a cell phone battery will keep it running. Those are things we do. And we are also building something, and this is one that we're going to announce, so I'm not going to give too much detail, but tell your listeners if they are PC monitor users, which is probably all of them, they should take a look at the new monitor stand that we're going to announce at PAX Prime this year, which is the first week of September. We're going to announce a monitor stand that we have been told is a game changer in the world of monitor stands. Not just because it works with our M240 so that you can disengage your monitor with 1 button versus 4 screws, but because it'll fit everybody's monitor. It will also do some things that nobody else is doing with theirs, and it'll give you some functionality that other people are ignoring about the changing industry. We hope that people that just want it for their home office will love it. We know already that people with labs like Microsoft Xbox Labs will really love it. And we know that the video streamers that have seen it cannot wait for it to be exposed on YouTube.
John, what is your feeling of things like Visa compliant? Are they outdated? I mean, a lot of monitors will advertise, say, "Oh, we're Visa compliant, so you can mount this on the wall or something."
I love Visa compliance. As a matter of fact, we're going to provide Visa mounts that people can use for themselves. But that's one of the things that we do. Our products are Visa compliant, but But the real value is, what does that mean? It just means it's the same 4 screws, same size square on the back. That doesn't mean anything to most people unless there's a usability other than reusability.
I asked Ben if his monitor was Visa compliant, and he looked at me funny.
And I said, my computer's not leaving the country. Why does it need a Visa?
Exactly.
That's right. But I love that standard. It's a nice standard, especially for the smaller monitors, 27-inch and below. For the larger ones, it's a little less relevant based on the way people are building them today, because you tend to have a larger monitor stand for them based on weight, shape, etc. But we're going to do something that allows the Visa mount to become a critical component of usability for the consumer. So we would like people to understand, as soon as they see our product, they look at our M240, they will understand some of the designs that they look at it and they say, I don't understand why I need that. That's one of the things we did in the console world. When one of the major console manufacturers said nobody wants to take their console outside of their living room, when we first announced our product, we just showed the box, opened it up. When they saw the monitor, everyone got it.
John,
they now could do what they wanted to do. So yeah, go ahead.
So obviously you're in the gaming industry, and I'm curious what your opinion is. We only have about a minute left. Where do you see the gaming industry going in the next 5 to 10 years? I mean, is everyone going to be wearing an Oculus Rift or something along those lines, and monitors?
Is MLG going to become the next great big sport?
Yeah, I mean, or monitors.
I'm not sure if MLG will own it, but I do believe esports has already made its mark. They're the only one that can sell out Staples Centers in less than 10 minutes. No other sport's been able to do it. Esports is a huge part of our future. Whether MLG or other leagues, because there's dozens of leagues, decides they want to step up and own it the right way, that's up to them. Or maybe GAEMS says we have to go there ourselves, whatever. As far as going into where I see gaming, I think console gaming is here for another decade. They've had the fastest sales in the history of console games. I believe that's still relevant. I believe PC gaming has become more relevant than it's ever been in the past. So I believe PC gaming is on the verge of stepping into the world of console gaming as far as affordability. And then I believe companies like Valve's Steam product is probably closer to the future than a lot of people want to give them credit, because I believe online gaming in the next generation, in the next 10 to 20 years, they will solve the issue of internet latency. And I believe at that point, all your processing will happen in the cloud, and you will have a virtually lag-free experience on a monitor, preferably games, from any device that you own, whether it's a phone or something else. But I still believe we're about 10 years away from that being an adopted standard.
John, all right. Quantum dot, that's the hottest thing, that's supposedly in monitors, or TVs. You going to approach that over at GAEMS in upcoming monitors?
I will leave that up to Dean Mercier at some point to discuss. That one I will not make a comment on at this point, but I hope you guys can draw whatever conclusions you want. And as far as Oculus Rift and others, I believe Oculus Rift is a nice product, but I believe what I've seen with HoloLens, I believe that's closer to what the world is ready to adopt, because I still see a lot of flaws with covering your entire face with the screen.
You like the augmented reality then, huh?
I would actually take a bet right now from anyone that augmented reality becomes bigger than virtual reality.
Well, John,
I will take that bet today.
John, we're pretty much out of time. It's been a fascinating hour. It went by way too quickly.
It did.
And hopefully we'll have you back again. We're going to get Ben one of these monitors to check out, and we're going to certainly talk about that as well.
I'll be everyone's sacrificial lamb and try one of these things. Woe is me.
Exactly. John.
Well, be honest, because we can't get better if we don't have honesty. We don't look for fanboys. We look, we build our products better because we listen to people that say, I love this, but this could be improved. We're wide open. So be brutally honest with us.
You will.
And hopefully you love it. And if you don't, be quiet. No, just kidding.
GAEMSPGE.com is the website. Just go to computeramerica.com. We have the link up to the website as well, and check it out for yourself. The website is extremely interesting, as is our guest tonight. John, thank you so much for being with us here tonight on Computer America. It was a pleasure.
Well, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, and I hope that someday I can be on your show again with some other new products.
Okay, and we look forward to that.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks again, John. Take care. Good night.
All right, good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right, there you go. All right, games.
And yeah, games. And by the way, you should definitely go check out their website, because we didn't even get a chance to talk about a couple of different features that they have up on the website, including a giant SUV that is traveling across the country promoting what Games does. So, I mean, go check out their website regardless, because we didn't get to everything.
All right. Another hour of Computer America coming straight at you here. I've got news and the computer and technology news brought to you by SlimWare Utilities. Be right back.
This is about a cool new way to be the first to hear about new, completely unannounced products or services. The Monday through Friday Newer Than News nationwide Bell Ringers Radio Hour starts August 31st. 4 times on each show, a team of 3 pros, well, 2 pros and me, take the time to tell you all about some new something. That happens over so many stations that more than 50 million people will be able to tune it in. And that same day, releases about that debut go out on 3 major news wires to reach traditional, online, and social media, plus full coverage on SlashGear and some other goodies. Here's what we'd like to ask of you now. At the company you work for or the companies you work with, chances are that the top marketing people in top brass don't yet know about Bell Ringers. Please, just tell them to check out bellringersmedia.com. That's BELLRINGERSMEDIA.com. But hurry, September segments are booking now.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at computeramerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello, and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And you're still on the Games website. Well, you must really like that. They got some interesting things there.
We didn't even talk about the customization, because if you know anything about products by products for gamers, they tend to have a lot of flair to them. They have a lot of LEDs. They have a lot of customization. They look very, very nice. Because they're proud of their equipment, and they like it when people see them. And not only do they like it, they like to look good. And Games actually has some very, very cool custom skins that they can apply to their Vanguard, the one that you strap in your console to, and it's kind of it's its own monitor. They have some very, very nice looking custom skins for it. So
I like that.
I was checking that out.
I like the monitor we're talking about that has the back kickstand reverses, so it becomes
that was the M240.
Yeah, like a handle, and they even have a cover that goes over the face of the glass, so it protects. Yep. It makes it truly portable if you want to bring your monitor along with you. But again, if you missed any portion of that interview, you can listen to it again. We archive all of our shows at computeramerica.com. Just go to the archives page at computeramerica.com, and you can see that for yourself. If you ask me where the archives page is, just go to computeramerica.com, and you go under press releases, news, and info. You'll see it's the for selection. It's show archives, and that'll take you to all the places where you can listen to Computer America. Where you can download them at the iTunes link. Everything is there for you, so it's all there at computeramerica.com. Very interesting hour. That was a good. Yeah, absolutely. All right, coming up in about a half an hour, we're going to have our social media winner of the week.
Do you have that picked out already?
Yes, that's picked out.
Which social media did you pull it from?
Oh, good question. I believe I got it from Facebook.
All right. So this week is Facebook. If
Yeah.
you didn't subscribe, like our Facebook page, then we know it was not you.
And by the way, that brings me to another point. We have a theme each month, and we didn't talk about the theme for the month. Each
Yeah,
month
we did one
have
for space. We did one for science. We did one for travel. We did one for, I think we did education one month. But I don't think we because a lot of our guests pertain to what that theme is. So this month's theme was.
I'm trying to remember.
I thought you had it all on top of your head. I can find it though.
Yeah, find it though. And what we've done was already done. We've already changed the background so it reflects when you watch the YouTube videos. We have the background there as well. So and each and every month we pick a different theme to talk about. So anyway, here it is. The theme list for 2015. That's on the guest calendar.
We are so on top of this. It is.
I know it was there. Health was do it yourself. March was the science. Remember that one? Financial literacy. May in space. June it was travel, and to this month it's outdoors and green tech. Okay.
Outdoors and green technology.
Outdoors and green technology. Yes. Okay. All right. Anyhow, as I said, we're going to do computer.
I guess GAEMS fits into that because that makes that makes your console a portable, system.
Yeah.
So take it outside with you. Go find an outlet built into a tree, and enjoy the great outdoors with some Halo 5.
Yeah, and well,
Halo 4, Halo 5 is coming out this year. Can't wait.
Exactly. So let's do computer news.
All
right, let's do it. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by SlimWare Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right. Everything at slimwareutilities.com is completely free. We suggest that you download them all. Why not? They're free. Keep them, use them. You'll be very happy that you did, and you'll thank us for it. slimwareutilities.com. And in this very first story,
which one did you choose?
Windows 10. You can pre-order USB install kits on Amazon right now. Even though it's not going to be after the 29th of July, many Windows users will have, they'll have it. If you're Windows 7 or Windows 8, you'll have the free upgrade. But in other words, one of the things what you might want to do is a USB install stick rather than discs. Mm-hmm.
One thing just going off of what I know about the idea, this would be great for people who provide their own tech support or have their own business providing tech support to people. And you may want to buy, of course, if you have the upfront money, you may want to buy a dozen of these or a dozen or so. Keep them on your, keep them in your truck, keep them at home. And when you head to different places, because these USB sticks, they're going to be, USB 3.0, and they're going to have a full installation software for Windows 10 with a product key, with verification, with everything. Like it's going to be like you used to buy the CDs and download, and install an operating system. Just keep like a dozen of them and carry them around with you, and try to especially since they're coming out at the end of the month, try to upsell people. Be like, hey, would you like me to put Windows 10 on your computer? This is of course assuming they don't have the free upgrade, but be like, hey, want Windows 10, and I'll sell it to you for 130 instead of 120, and there or whatever it is, make a little bit of a profit. But really, I mean, just having a USB with a full installation kit right there with with all the verification already built in, very, very cool.
Yeah, the Windows 10 home USB flash drive install kit costs $120, $119.99, and will be available on the 30th of August. And then the Windows 10 Pro kit, which is valued at $199.99, it's $200 on Amazon. Okay, will be available as well. Now, again, if you want to upgrade via the internet, you can do that as well. Because and of course, all the following upgrades for Windows 10 are going to be via the internet.
Yeah, no, but this is just getting you started, and then of course you have to patch and update and all that kind of thing, using the internet. But hey, it's better than carrying around CDs or
Sure.
floppy drives.
Right. Amazon, by the way, has both the Home and the Pro available for pre-order at $10 less than the regular price. So the Home is $99.99 and the Pro is $139.99 if you wanted to anticipate that.
Yep.
At Amazon. And you didn't have to wait for Prime Day to do that.
Prime Day, what a letdown by so many people. I heard somebody got a great price on sunglasses, so it wasn't a complete failure. But let's not talk about that. Let's hope Prime Day either gets better next year or goes away next year, because I don't think anyone needs that kind of hype, that kind of excitement, that much anticipation for that kind of letdown.
Okay.
It's like going to your brother-in-law's wedding. It's like, that's it. Okay, whatever. No offense to your brother-in-law. Anyways, so news, and we're going to go to, how about this one? This one is only going to get less relevant as we go by, because yes, New Horizons has came and went from Pluto and has taken amazing pictures. They're still pouring over the data. They just had a new one that they released today of the landscape of Pluto. And it's it has mountains and all that kind of stuff. Very, very cool. But here's an article from Newser, and it's 10 things that cost more than the trip to Pluto.
All right.
Just to put everything into perspective, into taking a probe, launching it, have it travel at, I think it travels at 35,000 miles an hour.
Very fast.
Very, very fast. And in 9 years and all that kind of stuff, just for it to send back pictures. Here's what you could do. Here's what else we do with that kind of money. So
these things cost much more than
much more.
So
so let's see. This is again from Newser, author Kate Siemens, and I just thought this was funny because they said that the 9+ year voyage cost about $720 million.
Okay. Which
just so happens to be a good deal less than what you spent to build the new Viking Stadium, which was $1 billion.
Wow.
That's an extra, about $300 million to build a football stadium, because we need a lot more of those. Those are good. No offense to all the football fans out there, but man, that's a lot of money for a football stadium. And by the way, they said that NASA itself explained that the funds were and will be spent over the period from 2001 to 2016 on everything from spacecraft development to data analysis to public outreach. So the $720 million is everything from getting it up into space, paying people to look over the data, to interacting with the public. Everything costs $720 million. So again, that's not just the price of like the lens of the telescope. So next thing, number 2, Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Pirates of the Caribbean, however you want to say it. 1.04 million. So $1.04 billion for all those movies, which I personally think it's a good investment. Those were amazing movies. I like them.
Okay.
But again, about another $300 million more expensive than New Horizons. The Cassini-Huygens mission. Had not even heard of that, but that is the one that is exploring the Saturn system, and at about 5 times the cost of the Pluto excursion, at $3.68 billion.
Why is it so much more expensive?
I guess it has to do so much more. Although the European and Italian space agencies picked up a lot of that tab. Let's see what else. Spam emails cost about $21.58 billion.
Oh my God.
So people love to send spam and you hate to get it, but that's about about $21 billion more than was spent to get to Pluto. The Trump Taj Mahal cost about another $300 million more, which is the casino.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where the Taj Mahal. No, I think the Taj is a different Atlantic City.
Yeah, that's right. And just looking through these like hangovers. Yes, after drinking too much and you have to buy, so and so and lost productivity and all the alcohol you consume. Hangovers cost more than going to Pluto.
$160 billion.
$160 billion. Prescription drug ads, those are always fun. Super Bowl Monday, one day costs $100 million more than sending a probe to Pluto. ATM fees, $8 billion. So really, banks should be sending a lot of probes out there for all the money they're taking from me personally. I know those fees are outrageous. And then the last are U2 tickets. Yes, in total, U2's ticket sales were over $736 million. So at the end of the day, U2 can send a space probe to Pluto. U2 the band, not you. You're not rich enough.
No.
Neither am I. Neither are you. But mostly, neither are you.
Okay.
That was fun though. Just think, it's just like the whole world seems to be caught up in, what does Pluto look like? What's the story of Pluto? How is it? And I think for like a week there, everyone was really, really excited about space again. And all of that for the measly cost of $720 million. I just thought that was cool.
It was very cool. Very cool. Okay, this next one from Engadget. Microsoft opens Xbox to Windows game streaming up to everyone.
Yeah, this one's crazy.
Yeah. Microsoft has removed the Xbox to PC game streaming restrictions. And now anyone with Microsoft's latest console and Windows 10 can play Sunset Overdrive or Halo, the Master Chief Collection. This is really cool. More than that, some pretty big new features are also hitting the Windows 10 Xbox app, including party chat and tweaks on how screenshots and video clips are shared via the game DVR. That's very, very cool. But he says perhaps most impressive about the My Games functionality, which is, by the way, what they're calling this. It basically is how the My Game functionality within the application works. Okay,
Yeah.
that is it. Basically, you buy your games from the Windows Store, automatically populate under the banner as you expect, but that's extending to a large number of older games you might have bought from other sources too. And also, you can manually add titles if they don't appear. And let's see what else. Microsoft said it'll keep track of what you're adding so the automation process improves over time.
Yep.
So there it is. That's, again, you can now stream.
Which was the service that they promised back at E3 about the integration with, or not just E3, but going back to the announcements of Windows 10, was that if you have an Xbox One and you have Windows 10, there was going to be console to PC and PC to console integration like you've never seen before. One of those, of course, being the ever anticipated, this very feature, being able to stream your Xbox games to your PC, which is amazing because, as the console ages, and it's already aged a year and a half by now.
Mm-hmm.
PCs are just going to get better, and if this thing really does live up to its 10-year life cycle,
Mm-hmm.
PCs really towards the end, almost any PC you buy is going to be as powerful or more powerful than an Xbox One. So streaming the games to your PC won't be a matter of can my hardware handle it. It's I want my games and I want to be able to play them anywhere. And this is just a solution. And it's even easier besides knowing that you can take your Xbox controller and plug it into any USB port, and computers will recognize it just for what it is. It's not like you plug it in and it's going to think it's a mouse. It's going to know it's a controller. So at the end of the day, it's you don't have to just use your Xbox anymore. Now you can use your PC as an Xbox, which is I think a feature that is really, really appealing.
Yes.
PlayStation doesn't have that.
Nope. No, it does not.
It,
I when I read this, I thought it's a very nice feature, and I'm surprised they restricted it for so long.
Well, it probably wasn't ready, and the last thing you want for a new service is to release it and have people say this service is no good, because you only get one chance to make a first impression. That's true. If your first impression is this thing's a load of malarkey, that's not going to help anyone.
Yeah, I think the thing is you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Yes.
No.
So yeah, but I'm glad they finally released it, and of course this is only with Windows 10, which is not going to be out for another 2 weeks.
Are you on the side just waiting? Can't wait for the Windows 10?
I can't wait for an Xbox One.
And again, I think I've asked you this before, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I don't recall the answer. Are you going to update the Windows 10 when it comes out on the 29th of July?
Of course, I've already signed up. I signed up for the first day.
Okay, good. Okay.
I need Windows 10. It's no longer a craving. It's I want Taco Bell. I need Windows 10. They're different orders of magnitude right now.
I understand. I completely.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think you do, but we're gonna drop it for now.
Uh-huh.
How much I need this? Okay. Pot.
No.
Marijuana.
No.
Hashish, which is not marijuana, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The sticky icky, the green goblin, whatever you want to call it. That stuff.
Cannabis Rex.
Cannabis Maximus. What have you. All over the news lately, legalization in many, many states across the country, pulling in tax dollars like crazy, getting it out of the hands of the drug cartels into the hands of little school children. We're talking about money from pot, not pot itself. That should never be in the hands of school children to begin with. Mm-hmm. But it's becoming more socially acceptable. And with acceptance comes a fun little piece of technology that all cops across the country are going to start carrying. This coming from a company called Cannabis Technologies. And it's something that I think has been overlooked, but not anymore. And be careful out there. It's you shouldn't be doing it anyways. So alcohol has been legal for a long time, and there's one very important thing that if you watch television, you should know, or if you are a decent person, you should know: don't drink and drive. Get a taxi, get a friend, get an 18-year-old that is just, really, really lonely and wants to go out with you, but wants to be the designated driver. Whatever your way to get a DD is, but don't drink and drive. I think one thing that happens, and I've seen it happen, unfortunately, and sometimes it does not end well because it does impair you, is you use marijuana and then you go driving. Not good, because as fun as it is to go 15 and a 65 in the left lane, it's not going to help anything. It's less disruptive than alcohol, personally. But you should not be drinking. You should not be driving on it. You're still impaired. And now hitting the country nationwide is a new piece of technology. It's called a breathalyzer. Yes, the one that tells if you've been drinking, but it's one that will measure the amount of THC in a person's system.
Yes, but according to the story, it won't give you the level of like alcohol.
It will just detect the presence.
Yeah, exactly. Which you can do just by smelling somebody's breath, I would think.
Yes, if they are dank, then yes, they have to smoke pot. But hey, smelling like something and having it in your system are two different things. Mm-hmm. So if They will be a simple yes or no present for THC at the time of the test, and in that sense, it won't provide a quantitative evidential measure. This from the manufacturers. They think that maybe in subsequent iterations they will be able to provide more detailed information. They don't know, but the larger question is whether or not we even need these in the first place. I think we do. Reaction time goes out the window whenever someone does this, but cannabis technologies to the rescue with these THC sensing breathalyzers. So,
maybe future versions will not only tell you the quantitative levels in your blood, but it'll all tell you the kind of marijuana that they have different names for them. It'll tell you the brand or something. No.
See, because there's so many different brands. There's not one you can. I don't know. That's like saying, yeah, we have a breathalyzer here, and it says here you've been drinking apple martinis. Oh, check that out. You don't need to know the brand. You just need to know. I think it's really important to know the quantitative. But personally, I don't want to see anyone driving while impaired. So just the fact that they're equipped with these things, they'll be able to catch more people who do it. So that's good. That's good.
Okay, we have time for another story at least, and this one from Engadget and Cortana. We talked about this. That is coming to the Android phone. Evidently, it's come out a little bit early, like now. Okay, Cortana for Android is here, but sort of.
I don't think that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, back May, I think we said that they were going to be. Microsoft said they were going to bring Cortana to Android, and it was supposed to land, later this month to kind of coincide with the release
Windows
of
10.
Yeah, exactly. But evidently, it looks like an Android beta release of Microsoft's of Cortana has hit the web early, they installed the app on an HTC One M9 and works as well as you would expect. You can ask Cortana about the weather, basic facts, just to get her attention. Hey, Cortana. But you can't say, hey, Cortana, to get her attention. Although, I know with Siri, you can say, hey, Siri, and that'll work. But Siri your iPhone has to be plugged in to power. You can't do it on battery. But anyway, the bottom line is that don't expect this leaked Cortana copy to stick around for much longer. But it is a good sign that Microsoft is going to have an official release coming up really soon. So there it is. Okay.
Well, I can't wait for the full release, and I know it's a little bit of a leak, but hopefully anyone out there who was able to snag it, lucky them. But Cortana sounds like a really cool, useful thing. Can't wait.
It will be. I think so. Oh, I'm just looking at an image of Deadpool in the chat room.
Yeah, that kind of creeped me out. But we have time for one more quick story right here. This one also from Engadget. They have such great writers. Timothy J. Sepala. You may know a little company called eBay, little e, big B. You may know a company called PayPal, big P, big P. Mm-hmm. And they have been intertwined hand in hand for the longest time.
It was convenient. I found it convenient.
Very convenient, very very useful for buyers. It helped, PayPal. It was your buddy if you needed to get paid, if you needed to pay something. They handled a lot of transactions, and I think they have a really good reputation of a low scamming and a low just a low rate of ripping people off, because when you talk about money, people are looking for every possible way to steal it from you. And PayPal was great at that. So now today, I guess at the end of the day, eBay and PayPal have officially parted ways as of today. The auction site and the payment service separated in two disparate companies. PayPal is getting its own stock ticker, starts trading on the New York Stock Exchange come Monday, and it doesn't look so good for eBay. PayPal has been the reason for most of eBay's gains for the past 3 years, and nearly all of it in 2015. eBay revenues have already jumped 7% thanks to the higher demand for PayPal. Maybe the online auction house can use the $925 million it got from PayPal sale to figure out a way to become profitable. So I guess they felt that, or at least the higher ups felt that PayPal was, and I think they're right, that PayPal as a service alone, not being tied to eBay anymore, but PayPal as a loan service, a way to handle money, transfer money between two people, and just be a service, between any other apps, because they had kind of an exclusivity with eBay, but being in any app, being in any service, being PayPal, if they can get that service everywhere and get those fees from people, PayPal can become so very, very, very profitable. Like, they can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But eBay doesn't make a lot of money. eBay has very, very few fees, and let's face it, they can't really force everyone to stay in PayPal to make these transactions. So PayPal looking better. They've been sold off to a different company, getting their own company, and having their chance to split their profits from eBay. So we're going to see probably PayPal in a lot more situations, and potentially eBay in a much worse position. Hopefully they'll find a way to come back from this.
Are they going to keep where the integration between the two?
They'll probably keep the integration. It's just the stocks behind it, all the financials behind it, they're now split. So they're not tied together so intrinsically.
Okay. Hey, we got lots more stories coming up. We've got a news test bulletin review from Marty Winston as well. And you're listening to the Computer America Show. We will be right back with more right after these words. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
I need a favor. You may not have anything to do with launching new products or new services at the company you work for or the companies you work with. So just in case the people there who are in charge of that aren't listening to Computer America tonight, please tell them about Bell Ringers. It starts August 31st as an hour-long Monday through Friday nationwide radio show on so many stations that more than 50 million people will be able to tune it in. 4 times each hour, a team of describe and explain something that's never been announced before, making it newer than news. And that same day, they send releases over 3 wires to traditional, online, and social media. Get full coverage on Slash Gear and more. Please, just ask those marketing guys to take a look at bellringersmedia.com. That's BELLRINGERSMEDIA.com, bellringersmedia.com. But hurry, September segments are booking now. Thanks.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? That's so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
And that's how Cold Fusion works. Oh, Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America, this time the Little Giant Air Wing. If we were born 2 feet taller, it'd be easier to reach up high for all the lighting gizmos we test, the access points, the home control gadgets, you name it. If we were born half a lifetime later, we might feel a little less wobbly climbing ladders these days. Since we're not about to be reborn, we got in the Little Giant Air Wing 4-foot ladder for review. The whole ladder folds flat to about 2 inches, but unfolds to a unique 2-foot stepladder configuration that's overall more than 4 feet tall and can hold 375 pounds. From the ground up, it has non-slip rubber feet, a non-slip tread on its 4.5-inch bottom rung, a 12-inch by 14-inch platform at its highest stand-on level, about 2 feet up. Then the side rails continue another couple of feet to a top crosspiece. Lean on it as a belly or butt bar to feel more stable. The crosspiece has a tray to hold tools or hardware, and underneath on each side, a hole that can hold, for example, a screwdriver. Bottom line, Little Giant Air Wing 4-foot ladders give you a little extra height, right, and absent any fright. Marty Winston, News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. It is 33 minutes past the hour in the second hour on a Friday, and that means we need to give away a mouse. We don't need to, actually. I take that back. We get to.
We get to. Okay.
We get to.
All right. We're going to give away a mouse to some lucky person who's entered into our
Who has been preordained by the goats that tell us everything we need to know about the winner. So yes, we have a pack of goats in the backyard that they stamp their hooves a certain number of times on a full moon, and they tell us who all the winners are. So if you're wondering, I wonder how they pick the winners. Yes, lunar goats.
Yeah, not quite, but close. Nope, social media. All right, and we're going to give away again the Logitech MX Anywhere 2 wireless mouse. And actually, let me just reach over here and hold that.
Oh yeah, Craig actually has one in his hands
right here. There it is. You can see it now. Actually, I need to. There it is. The Logitech MX Anywhere 2 mouse.
Still in the packaging. That's not the exact one you're going to get, but it is one just like it.
And we can open up the box and you can see it in there. Exactly. And yes, I am going to, over the weekend, install this and use it. So
look at that USB. It's not even a USB stick anymore. It's a USB nib. I believe that's the technical term. So so small, so tight.
It is the tiniest little nib I've actually seen. There it is up in the corner of the box. There you can see
just big enough to be able to pull it out.
Yeah, and if that, barely. Once you put it in, you can't get it out. No, yes, it's okay. So our winner for this mouse this week is William Vigas.
Hey, William.
Yes, congratulations, William. You get the Logitech MX Anywhere 2 wireless mouse. This wireless mouse travels and performs anywhere you need it. Glass tables in your home room, airplane tables, thanks to its dark field technology. You can pair up to 3 computers and switch between them with the touch of a button. I think that is such a cool feature of this. I've never seen that anywhere. Thanks to its easy switch technology right on the bottom of the mouse, you can take it anywhere. And it's valued at $80, $79.99. And by the way, William wrote to us. There was a comment. He said, "Please subscribe me if I'm not already." He says, "Love to listen to the show!" Exclamation point. So thank you for that, William. And again, you are this week's winner. So congratulations to you. Okay. And of course, the contest continues on. The more social media you subscribe to for us, that's that many more a chance you have to win.
Yep.
Okay.
Not the last mouse we'll be giving away.
No, it's not. We have many, many, many more. Okay, we're doing computer and technology news brought to you by SlimWare Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And I think it's my turn to do one right now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Hulu, been around for a long time. Evidently, ad-free Hulu.
See, this is where the writer in me is like, they miss a golden opportunity to title this differently.
What would that be?
Hulu throws everyone for a loop.
Hulu, okay.
Get it?
Get it.
Hulu hoop?
Hulu hoop.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here
all night.
Forever.
Okay. Ad-free Hulu rumors return at just the right time. Evidently, according to this story from Tech Hive, Jared Newman, he says the streaming video service could launch a commercial-free version as soon as this fall, but at a significant markup. Ooh, okay. So he says they might be considering it. Okay. After plans from a couple of years ago went nowhere. Sources.
Yeah, for anyone who didn't know, Hulu currently an $8 subscription model, and for anyone who seriously does not know this, they still make you watch ads if you pay them $8 a month.
Wow. See, Netflix doesn't do that.
No, Netflix, anything you watch on Netflix, there are no ads whatsoever anywhere.
Nope. But they're saying the ad-free version could cost as much as $12 to $14 a month. Does Hulu have stuff that's not?
Hulu, I think, has a much better selection of television. So, like anything on the major networks, they're about to get Seinfeld. They have a lot of television shows. Are sent to Hulu first because they still, they still generate ad revenue.
Yeah.
So they are willing to spend a little bit more cash to get some of these more lucrative deals. I think I want to say that, of course, The Simpsons you can get on Hulu. Many very, very popular shows you can get on Hulu. It's just people really, really do shy away from the fact that even after you pay them money, you still have to sit through ads, which a whole lot of people don't like.
And this is not the first time this happened. They had 5 years ago. And then back in 2013, the CEO of the companies both then had proposed an option to remove ads, but it didn't happen. But times they are changing. Okay, because look, you now have HBO Now for $15 a month, and that's extremely popular. It's becoming much, much more popular. Now you can get to watch your favorite HBO series.
Yeah, your Game of Thrones, your True Detectives, your blah blah blah.
Showtime.
HBO Now is a very successful thing,
and Showtime's now introducing their streaming service, $11 per month. That basically, you'll pay a premium for quality content with no commercial breaks. Netflix has also spoken of gradual price increase over the next decade as the company invests in more premium video, but still right now it's about $8 a month.
See, but the nice thing about Netflix though is there was a story we didn't get to a couple days ago, and that is Netflix runs data on everything. Like everything you do, what you watch, how long you watch it, where you watch it, what you were watching before, what you watch after, what your friends are watching, what in your area are you watching, what age group are you in, male, female, family size, blah blah blah. They track everything, and they have a lot of analytics showing just what draws people in. And I think Netflix is going to be upping their costs over the next decade because their analytics are showing, and this is true, that their original programming are actually drawing in more people than anything that they license from someone else. So Orange is the New Black, House of Cards, BoJack Horseman, all those series that you can only get on Netflix are actually drawing the biggest subscription rates.
Daredevil too, you can only get
and Daredevil. Yeah, just their original programming tends to get people to sign up for Netflix more so than anything else.
Well, streaming video services are the internet equivalent of a la carte channels, and evidently, according to the author here, he says that the possibility of an ad-free Hulu tier is a sign that the system is working. These internet equivalent a la carte channels, and they're saying the growth of competing services forcing Hulu to provide more options to its users, like commercial free. So it's just a sign of the times. You might be able to get it Hulu ad-free sooner than you think.
We can only hope.
Yeah. Okay.
Because no one likes sitting through ads. I think people accept them, but I think ads are, at least in television's sake, is kind of the whole point of time shifting.
Yes.
Yep.
True. You get to watch it when you want to.
Very true. All right. How about a little bit of fun? And this is for people who buy Tesla.
Yeah. This is cool.
Tesla pushes the limits of the Model S with ludicrous mode. This, I'm sure, being a nod to the irreverent comedy Spaceballs.
Yeah.
And I don't believe it goes plaid yet, but yeah, the electric car maker Tesla conducted a mysterious conference call press announcement today. And by mysterious, it simply meant that they announced what they were talking about beforehand, and the internet immediately labeled it mysterious, even though they never announced what they're going to talk about. They get buzz handed to them on a silver platter, which really, as a show talking about what Tesla is doing right now, it's true. But yeah. The first the addition of a 90 kilowatt hour battery pack for the Model S, adding $3,000 to the cost of the car and 15 miles in range. So, hey, 15 miles is 15 miles if you can fork it over. Which brings it close to 300 miles at 65 miles an hour highway speed. 300 miles is something of a magic number when it comes to swatting away consumers' so-called range anxiety. Which, if you can get 300 miles at 65 miles an hour, and you had, let's say, a charging station every 150 to 200 miles on major highways, I think that would quell a lot of the people saying, "Oh, how am I going to charge this thing during car trips?"
That's true.
That'd be very nice.
I'm wondering, I wonder if services like AAA or something are going to offer, that you can call AAA to change a flat.
I would think the closest thing they could do, because I've seen tow trucks. Those things haven't changed in 10 years. But I think the closest thing they probably do is they probably tow you to a charging station.
You don't think they would have electrical on board?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, of course, AAA will jump start a battery for you. They'll do, they'll do a lot of things for you, but I don't believe they have the equipment necessary to charge one of these cars.
Okay.
But these charging stations are becoming, they aren't so few and far between. They're getting very, very concentrated, especially in populated areas. So, not such a bad option in the coming years. But Elon Musk also announced that the Model S P85D, which is their high-performance dual-motor all-wheel drive version, would get an additional button that would bump up its insane mode to ludicrous mode, trimming the 0 to 60 time from 3.2 to
2.8 seconds.
2.8 seconds. And it generates about 1.1 Gs of acceleration, and which Musk said is faster than falling. Of course, that needs fact checking, but hey, pretty cool if it's true. Faster than falling. I guess that would mean like if you had a car that was falling off the side of a building and a car that was driving down the side of a building, ignoring the physics of a car driving on the side of a building. Let's pretend it's Hollywood. The car driving on the side of the building would go faster than the car falling off the building.
Okay, so now if you want ludicrous mode, it's going to cost you about $5,000 more than the insane mode.
Yeah. So $10,000 in total. $5,000 for the insane mode, $10,000. $5,000 more for the ludicrous mode. Oh, and by the way, I heard a fun little fact. There is a song by Ludacris. I can't remember which song it was, but there was a song by Ludacris that's in the before the press conference. They played one song the entire time they were setting up. So it's like an hour and a half while people are setting up and getting their seats, blah blah blah. They had one song playing on loop for the entire hour and a half. Yeah. And it was by, of course, Ludacris. So it didn't really make sense. I'm sure it annoyed a lot of people, but looking back on it, you can clearly see why they did that. So, yeah, I think it's about as far as we're going to get into this particular announcement. But hey, if you've been thinking about a P85D and you have an extra $10,000 to throw at it, you too can go ludicrous speed.
Go
2.8 seconds from 0 to 60. That is so, like seriously.
Go
back and watch the American classic that is Need for Speed, or and listen to all of them talking about a sub 4 second car or a sub 5 second car.
Right.
And they're all talking about, these speeds going from 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. And this thing goes like twice as fast. And this is like a full production car. And not only a full production car, but an electric car. It's awesome.
Wow, that is amazing.
I just need to find a way to get the $150,000 it takes to get a ludicrous speed P85D.
Yeah. It's a cool vehicle, no question about it.
Actually, I should go look up the price of one of these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go. Starting at $105,000. So, I'm sure with enough add-ons you can get up to $150,000.
Yeah. I'm still going to have that anxiety though about not finding a place to gas up or fuel up.
Again, they're coming up more and more, and there are maps, there are apps, there are plenty of places to charge up. Let alone, I hear you can even, if you had the proper permission and equipment, plug it into an outlet at your local gas station. So
or you can or you can, as you say, plug it in at the
superchargers.
All right, or at your home you can plug it. You can charge up.
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay. So you would get a Tesla like this.
Oh, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
Okay. All right. So Ben and I are doing computer technology news, and this next one, Microsoft addresses Windows 10 subscription fears with 10 years support, a decade of support. Okay. So, Windows 10 isn't quite here yet, but there was some questions about it still are out there, and Microsoft seems to have answered one of the biggest ones today by officially announcing that they will commit to support Windows 10 for the next 10 years. Okay. So Microsoft
10 years of support. That's quite the claim.
Yes, it is. Okay. To at least October 14th, 2025. Wow. Extended support. Yeah. Now, basically, this statement puts to rest fears that it would begin charging users a subscription fee to use Windows 10, which was a big gotcha, but evidently that's not happening. Okay. Now, there's still some concern that the transition to a Windows as a service would only mean would one day mean a subscription cost like Office 365, but evidently that's not the case. Let's say there is one caveat though, and that users must keep their devices supported. Okay, so with each update build that comes out, you need to make sure that you do the build, you keep it updated. Then of course updates include obviously new features, fixes, security, that type of thing. And
I don't know many people who stick with one build and don't update it. Going as far back as I can remember with Windows 98 and Windows, ME, XP, all that kind of thing. I'm not sure there are many people who said, I really like patch 02447, and I'm going to stick with that one. Like a lot of people just keep it up to date, as a security precaution.
Now here's a little tidbit though. If you have Windows 10 Home Edition, users will not be able to disable automatic updates. Why would they want to? But there it is. You can't do it. Windows 10 Pro users will have up to 8 months to apply updates, after which they either need to install them or they won't receive any future ones. Okay.
I guess the Pro ones, if you're working with certain software and it's not, the most up-to-date thing, or an update crashes it, if you're a professional using Windows, you don't want to, potentially have a piece of software that crashes every time there's an automatic Windows update. So that's nice of them. But, like I just said, most people stick with the most current version.
Yeah. But there it is.
So not a big deal. And 10 years, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. 10 years.
And 10 years, again, leading to that whole Windows forever thing. 10 years doesn't sound like forever, and 10 years is probably an overestimation of how long Windows 10 is going to be here. So, you know, in the next 5 years, I bet there's a new operating system.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I say.
We'll
So,
be around. We'll be around to see.
We'll be around to see.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be around to see. I don't know about you, but oh, things just got dark. Anyways,
yeah.
Something very, very cool. We're gonna throw up a video here on our video portion, and this is about Unreal Engine 4. I don't think we really got a good chance to talk about Unreal Engine 4, but a little bit behind Unreal Engine, it's what a lot of games are built upon. They make a game engine where, like, when you look at games and they have lighting, they have texture, they have atmosphere, they have gravity, they have physics, they have everything that makes a game a game. You're using a game engine because, you know, not every game, or at least most games, don't want to have to go back to the drawing board and start from square one. They use they use a game engine, and what traditionally was the best was Unreal Engine 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Unreal Engine 4 came out not too long ago. And the only thing I had seen from it were still images. And these still images, when you looked at them, they were stunning. Like they had scenes that would be transcribed from, like, they take a picture and then they recreate that picture using the Unreal Engine 4, and they were literally identical. Like, they were so hard to tell the difference between the two. So Unreal Engine 4, most powerful game engine to date, and someone has recreated Mario in them, which we're showing on our video right now. If you get a chance, looks gorgeous. Of course, it's just kind of like a player-made kind of deal. This is not an official game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like a tech demo, and it looks better than any Nintendo Mario yet. And if you really just it's not really looking at the character model. If you look at the environment, if you look at the texture details, the lighting, like you can see like the little particles of dust. You can see the ripples in the water. You can see the light refracting off it. You can see the sparks that happen. All these little details that make the Unreal Engine 4. This is what games of the next generation console, of the next computer games, this is what they're going to be built on, and they're going to look absolutely stunning. So people are just playing around with it right now. We haven't yet seen an actual game, as far as I know, an actual game come out of it. But when you look at a grass field, and it's not just like a placement texture for grass, but it's actually a million blades of grass all rendered at the same time. That is, that's going to turn heads.
It's impressive. Yeah, exactly.
It really is. It's, just every little, like this version of video games is going to be so much better because it has reflections, it has texture, it has lighting. It's just gorgeous to look at.
Wow. It is. I'm just watching the video right now. Unlike any other Mario that I've seen.
Well, yeah, and again, it's it's kind of a cheeky way to do it. This isn't supposed to be like what a Mario game would look like. This is just kind of a fun way of showing off the textures built in the game.
Look at the floor.
Like the marble floor, it looks shiny, it looks smooth, it looks
real.
Very, very nice. You can see the walls, the shadows, just everything. It's crazy how good everything looks.
Yep. The Unreal Engine 4.
Yep.
There it is. Do we have time to do one more story? I don't think we do.
I don't think we do. We have like a minute left. There were a lot of stories that we didn't get a chance to talk about. Any of them that you wish we could have talked about?
Yeah, I mean, the email spam level plummets to a 12-year low. These are some of the stories that we didn't.
The FDA approved a prosthetic leg that they anchor directly into your bones.
Ooh, that sounds painful.
So no more. It does sound painful, but no more having to put on that cup and that sleeve. Just put it on your leg, and it's a replacement leg.
And here you can trade the limited edition Halo 5 code for a disc if you want.
For people who really want that collector's item.
Yeah, exactly. Funded Tesla wannabe Elio Motors raises big from the crowd. We had Elio, remember, on the show?
Yep, we had Elio Motors, and I think it's past time we had them on again.
Yeah. And so let's see. Also, the view from the front seat of a Google self-driving car, Chapter 2. That's an interesting story. We just didn't get to them.
Yep.
Hey, listen. Obviously, hopefully, all of you have a wonderful weekend coming up. And what do we got coming up for Monday? Oh, Jackpot Digital. This is interesting. Jackpot Digital is going to be our guest Monday. This is a Canadian-based company.
90 seconds.
For those of you who are into online gambling, there's such a stigma kind of attached to it. But I think this is going to be very interesting because we're going to have the company's CEO on as president CEO. Jake Kalpakian is going to be on here talking about online gambling and how you can basically sit home and gamble and make lots of money.
60 seconds.
Hey, it works, people. Yeah, I just want to say that all next week, definitely check out the show. Jackpot Digital, Unicron, and we're gonna have Dell Computers on Wednesday. Drone Company, Drone Aviation Corp, and then Aterica Digital Health. All great next week. Definitely check it out.
And also, it's on the calendar again at computeramerica.com.
Yes, that's it.
You can check it all there. We have all the listings. It's all there at computeramerica.com. Hey, listen, again, congratulations to our winner, William Vigas, our social media winner of the week. And all of you have a wonderful, great, happy, and healthy weekend. So until Monday night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. See you Monday night.
See you then.
Seconds.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, again, everybody, thank you for watching, and Ben and I'll see you Monday night. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.